sounds like the Niners have full-blown two realities. They got the public reality and the private reality. In the private world, Trey knows he's going to be the quarterback, and all the players know he's going to be the quarterback, and all the coaches know he's going to be the quarterback. But in the public side of their face, they're creating the illusion that they don't know. Jimmy could be there. They're more than willing to go to the finish line this year with Jimmy. They've budgeted for it. They've made it abundantly clear. Is this all about getting a good return in a trade, or are they actually willing to go into another year with Jimmy and Trey on the roster?
See, to me, it's like, what does it matter what you say privately if you're going to be wishy-washy publicly? Like, this is how I look at it. If your sister was with some guy, and the guy tells the sister we're in a relationship, and tells you they're in a relationship, but like his profile, his status on Facebook is like single, and he still has his Tinder profile. Like outwardly, publicly, he's saying I'm single, but to the girl and to you and the family members and the friends, like, oh no, it's exclusive. I mean, would you put any stock into what he says privately, or would you be like, this guy's playing us and thinks we're stupid?
I would say this guy's playing us and thinks we're stupid.
So until the Niners actually put a ring on it and make it official publicly, I just don't really care what kind of signals they're sending Trey Lance. I think it's kind of disrespectful that they won't make it public at this point. But
it does matter, Grant. It does matter, because if they go to the 11th hour and say goodbye to him in July, if they've already made the announcement internally and all the players and all the coaches and Trey and all the other people know that Trey's the guy, then maybe there's no after effects of that. But if they haven't done that on the back end and they've created this illusion even internally, then there may be some veterans on that team that are like, hey, man, you did Jimmy dirty. And if you did Jimmy dirty, you might do me dirty. And now you've lost the trust of your locker room in one swoop move.
What about this? What if they've given private indications to Trey Lance and a lot of the players on the team that Lance will be the starter? But when training camp rolls around, Jimmy's still here. And there's a competition. And Jimmy wins. For what? Won't Trey feel like he was lied to? It could go a lot of different directions.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's muddy almost by intent. It's like almost intent. It was almost like their intent to muddy this situation, because at this point there's so much misdirection. I think the fan base is just beat up by it, and they're just like, do whatever you got to do, just do it. And
I feel like they're doing it because Kyle almost likes being a troll. He kind of likes having people on the edge of their seat trying to figure out what he's trying to do. But what I would ask him is like, how has this helped your franchise? I mean, you're messing with us, great, but no one knows what you want to do, including your own team. How is this good for your franchise? Wouldn't it be stronger in January if you just said Trey Lance is ready, or whatever, February? I mean, that's what the Chiefs did with Mahomes. You were following that model, right?
Right. I mean, that was supposedly the deal. But then we're also talking about, what does John Lynch have to still prove himself within the walls of the 49ers to the other power brokers in the organization? And if so, maybe he has to get something of value for Jimmy, or he loses face internally. I mean, there's all kinds of options here.
It's true. Matthew Sanders says, watching a bunch of Lance highlights from last year, he has a strange hitch in his delivery. Does that need to get solved? Can he be accurate as is? I'm curious to see if his mechanics look different than last year, because he's been working all offseason to tighten it up.
Yeah, and I saw that hitch as well. It's I think it's easily correctable, to be honest. I don't think it's something that is like, oh man, it's a foundation of how he throws and he's going to be dramatically different. But I do expect to see a smoothed out Trey Lance, who is operating the offense with a lot more efficiency and a lot more naturally, because he's been in it now for a while. And look at Matt Ryan year 1 to year 2. I mean, you could argue this is the most complex offense in the entire league, and you could argue that he was the most raw quarterback of any first round quarterback in recent memory. So to me, the redshirt year was always expected.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he had a redshirt year or not a redshirt year, but a year on the bench at North Dakota State, where he sat behind Easton Stick. 1 year on the bench, got the job as a 19-year-old, and played the position, at least at North Dakota State, like he'd been doing it for a long time. He was flawless. So
and he took care. He set the protections. He took care of the football. Yeah. That to me is his greatest. You say, what's his greatest thing? What's the trait of Trey Lance in college that stands out? It's the lack of turnovers. It's how well he took care of the football. I think that was one of the major attractions to Trey.
I mean, there are a lot of things that he did that experienced quarterbacks do, and he's really inexperienced. He actually manages the game well. He doesn't just commit a bunch of mistakes and say, well, I'll make bigger plays that'll cancel him out. He's more cautious than Jimmy.
I think the other thing that's real clear is that his mechanics on some of the nuances of the position, like the mesh point on the play action game from behind center, is so much more advanced than Jimmy. And Jimmy's played an entire career in the NFL, and Trey's hardly done anything.